Hello dear all beautiful students, welcome all to our today's session. This is the first class of your biology first paper and this is your Monish sir. I hope so that you will enjoy the all classes with the first paper biology. Biology is very important subject in this level, like that HSC level, and you are the student of now HSC, and after then many of you have a desire for and thinking about that I wish to be a doctor. So if you want to think like that, so first paper and second paper are very important for them also, and not as like as the biology you have learned in the SSC level. It is very important and very vast sense, so that biology book is divided into first paper and second paper. I will teach you the first paper according to the routine. I hope so that you will get the better understanding in the biology first paper. Hope so. Today we will start chapter, that is the chapter 1, and it is very vast and big chapter, my dear students. And if you want to go through understanding about this chapter, this will be very hurtful. You want to go through hardship and you must collect the note in each and every topic. So very first one is the cell according to this chapter. And we know everyone that the definition of the cell in very previous time in our childhood stage, that what is the cell. If it is asking what is the cell, so you will write that cell is the structural and functional unit of life, or functional unit of life we can say. So generally if you write this one, so now you will write in this way: structural and functional unit of life. Structural and functional unit of life is generally we know about the definition of the cell, and the structural actually denotes as the size, shape, structure, actually the forms of formation. These are constitute and conduct in the types of the structural unit or structure. When we try to discuss about these types, can come out that size of the cell, shape of the cell, structure, total structure, formation, how they all the cellular parts can be formed together. That is the structural part. And if it is a functional, that times it will be, you will write the physiological function. Why I write the physiological function, my dear students? You know that why I write the physiological function. Physiological function actually denotes that cell cannot be seen. Suppose of the cell in our body, how can I think that this is the cell, which one is the cell? We cannot think about the cell, we cannot see visibly. After when we examine it under the microscope, that times we can conduct the cellular types and cell. But actually the physiological function, so that it is mentioning not only the functional unit, you can write the structural and physiological functional unit is called unit life is called the cell. So physiological function is the inner side things actually going on through physiological, like in case of the plant, we can see the photosynthesis, we can see about the photosynthesis, we can see the respiration, we cannot see about the transpiration, we cannot see the properly about the absorption. You can think about all kinds of work or physiological activities are totally done by the cells, so that we can say this is the functional unit. So my dear student, I think this is the general concept, and you can go through understanding about not only having this one, that the functional unit, it will be a physiological function like photosynthesis, respiration, transpiration, absorption. As like as this part, we can see that the physiological function that cannot be seen, but it is automatically done. So instantly we just modify our definition, that is structural and functional unit of life. Instead of that one, the structural and physiological function like photosynthesis, respiration, transpiration, absorption in this physiological functional unit of life. So now I think it is the better understanding of your thinking that the structural and physiological functional unit of life is called the cell. The general concept can be modified and we understand the definition of the cell. I think I have seen that many of the students are joining there. Hope so. Very good morning, my dear students. So all of you who are joining, I can see there Tarika Sams, Nilesh Deb, Afra Ahmed Ali, Minhazuddin Ahmed, Sharul Chaudhuri, Abida bint Asif, Sumaya Munir, okay, Amina Ifrar Aisa, Shajjad Hossein, Shahida Nourin, Fatin Nur Jahin, all of you are very welcome and very good morning. And if you can say, you can represent your presence here by writing your name. That can below the comment box you can write the comment box here that your name and actually what you actually, if you get the role or not, and you can say in very good morning, or we can explore with us each other by saying salam also, so I can see your presence. Who are watching instantly, if you are not network connecting, you can out of the live class, but I can feel that your presence in my class. Below the comment box you can write or saying salam, or you can write your name, sir, this is me, or like that. Okay, so I think generally we can write about that, not only the structural, it is also the physiological functional unit of the life. Okay, now we will go through the nomenclature. Who gave the nomenclature? Nomenclature. Biology is very interesting subject, my dear students. It will be very easy. I will teach you in that way you feel this is much interesting. Okay, and because this ACC level can have to explore yourself in up to after ACC examination with jumping in the medical science, the admission test in the university, so that will be much interesting of them. Robert Hooke, you know everyone the name because of the name of this one, in not only for the biological science, it is also the quiz section also, who discovered the cell. And Robert Hooke in 1665 is actually discovered the cell. And where this cell, you know, the secondary core cambium. Core cambium is the new term, you don't know about that one. And secondary growth, when it is happening there in case of the plant, that is, you cannot also think about that the secondary growth, the core cambium, it is not actually included in our these topics. It has also the separate chapters, separate topics, but sequentially I will make you mind, not remember now, just having or eagerly find out that the lots of cellular parts in the core cambium under the microscope. So that is no, actually just remember the nomenclature. Who gave the naming system of the name of the cell? Actually very first time he is the Robert Hooke, is the inventor in 1665. So this is one the very important one. And now we will try to understand the cell with modern definition. Okay, we know the basic definition about that specific points. Now we will try to understand about the modern definition. Modern definition, that is can accept it. Modern definition. Modern definition. Many of the scientists, many of the botanists can give also gave the lots of definition. We will go through understanding about that one, but before then the modern definition, what will we write? Please follow me, and you can write this one also. Modern definition is the structural and physiological functional unit, physiological functional unit that is, this is the addition, that is covered by definite protoplasm, okay, and self-dependent, self-reproductive, and created from previous one. So this is the modern definition, my dear students. I have written here, and with addition, what is it asking for? Suppose, what is cell? You can write the structural and functional unit, or structural physiological functional unit is called cell. It is also okay and correct. But if it is asking for give the modern definition of the cell, so what will you write? This you can write. I will make you mind. The structural functional unit, it is okay. It is not the matter. We understood this one. That is covered by definite protoplasm. That means each and every cell have the definite protoplasm because of getting the protoplasm of a specific cell. It is different from cell to cell, plant to plant, organism to organism. Okay, my dear students. And self-dependent. Of course, a cell must be a self-dependent. Any single cell cannot depend on others. Okay, so they have that quality. Dependent thyself or self-dependent is very important and prominent features of them. And self-reproductive, that means the cell have that capability for reproduction thyself. That is one cell divided into two cell divided into four cell divided into 8. Like that way, we know that the cell division process, and that cell division process actually done by the each and every cell by self-reproductive system. Okay, and created from previous one. Actually created from previous one. Why it is going on there? Created, yeah, of course. Look at here, you, me, we, everyone actually created from our ancestors, like that, our parents, then their parents, like that. So every cell have their cellular types, and must have that quality, and they are not come by thyself, they come from other, created from previous one. So these features with having that one, that structural and functional unit is called cell. I think you get the better definition than the previous one, and that is the structural and physical functional unit that is covered by definite protoplasm and be self-dependent, self-reproductive, and created from the previous one. Very important definition. It is asking for nowadays for what is the modern definition of that one. Okay, so I hope so. It is very good to see of your, yes, my dear student, you are very good to see. After having that, I say many of you written the good morning, assalamu alaikum, walaikum salam. I have know you everyone, not everyone. In the orientation program, I see very few of your faces, and I say only few words with you. But some old students from this institution, I see their faces. Okay, very good to see, and who are just come outside of our institution, included here, now a member of the SCPSC. Everyone very welcome and good morning and walaikum assalam. So we will learn the biology in very easiest way, with having the lots of fun and excellent way to learn. And before then, I want to say, my dear students, please for making a copy for biology first paper. Okay, our biology teachers, all biology teachers teach them their way, so you will make the separate copy each and every way. So I took the class of you in the first paper, I can take the class another section in the second paper. So where it is actually going on there, I took the first paper, so you ensure a first paper copy. After completing the session, you can think that it is enriched full of the note of you. So I think now you understood about the modern definition of the cell. So now we will go through some specific definition of each and every cases. Yes, I can suggest you some book after the class. What kind of book can have be included? We have followed that, not a specific one or two books actually in like the NCTB in up to class 10, it is not given there. It is different writer having the different books. So what type of book we can follow? I follow here now 3 books, 1, 2 and 3 books with a Bengali version book. So which one will be the better for you, it is not known, but I can tell you some suggestion about to follow that one. Okay, so by the way, now we will go through some understanding about definition given by some specific scientist for having that specific one. Okay, now we will go through understanding some suppose there in Ch-1 bracket. Okay, Ch-1 bracket, Ch-1 bracket, you can write. He gave the definition of the cell in 1961. 1961. 1961, he told that a cell is the basic unit of the structure of life. Cell is the basic unit, okay, basic unit of the structure of organism. Structure of organism or life, you can write about that, organism. So sometimes it is asking for MCQ. Who told the cell is the basic unit of the structure of the organism? Okay, a living organism. Cell is the basic unit of the structure of the organism. Who told? Ch-1. In which year he told this one? In 1961. So this can be asking for SQ types of question. Okay, so dear student, be serious from the very first class, because if you serious now and then, that times you will get the goal and you can cut a good figure in the exam also. But if you are not serious, I can take the class one time, I can go through another time, I can manage it in the next time. No, my dear students, don't think about that. Just having connection with the study very first time flawlessly, set your mind and brain that now this is the time to study hard, because this 2 years is very important for in your life. And from my experience, I told you, I'm telling you here, that is the intermediate level is the hardest level than any other study level. Okay, so you will set your mind today. From today we will jump from the study and with high concentration. So Ch-1 we can say about, and now we can say here the Loewy and Sienkiewicz. Loewy and Sienkiewicz. Yes, general concept I will just mention here. 1963, he told something about the cell. That is, he told, yes, they are not only having important things. He told only one thing, that cell is the unit of physiological function. Physiological function of organism. Cell is the unit of physiological function of organism, which are covered by a semi-permeable membrane, membrane and self-reproductive without the help of other cell, without the help of alive medium or fresh medium. So Loewy and Sienkiewicz, you know that terminology from the SSC level. Of course, I have seen that this is very importantly we can through about that one. Who join later in my class, my dear student, this video will be uploaded after few minutes after completing my class, and that times you can again open, or any topics you can just skip up by erasing the board by myself. So after then, when I publish this video on this group, specific group, you can again play that video, can cut and turn, and you can see the specific points also having that one. And who later join, you can also do the very first time with them. So there is no panic and no tense about that, sir, I missed the class from first one, why and then how can I get it? Don't be tense, the video will be uploaded there. So Loewy and Sienkiewicz in 1963, they told cell is the unit of physiological function of the organism. Yes, all kinds of physiological function done by the organism, cell are the basic unit of them, and which are covered by a semi-permeable membrane and cell reproducts. Covered by semi-permeable membrane, you know, cell cannot enhance cell cannot enhance that any kinds of organism, any kinds of thing can enter inside it. No chance of it. Okay, so no chance, there is no single chance of it that semi-permeable membrane, you know, those membrane can ensure of entrance only those things or solvent, nothing other. So very important this one. So organs are covered by a semi-permeable membrane and self-reproductive, I already told in the modern definition, without the help of alive medium, alive or fresh medium, you can say, any medium, no need, any sort of way, no need, only they can thyself reproductive themselves, so they can produce the offspring, they can grow the new ones. So Lowy and Ch-1 in 1963 give this definition. It is asking for 1 marks. Define the definition of the cell of Lowy and Ch-1, and who gave this definition, Lowy and Ch-1, in which year it is given? In 1963. So there is understandable, this can easily understandable by doing this one, my dear students. Hope so it will be the better understanding of a specific points of not getting and connect, if you have the great connection with that one. So hope so you can get this point with having the note properly. Okay, so another one who gave that definition, another one, the definition of the cell, I just another scientist, and we will go through next the cell theory, then we can understood about that one. Okay, now very important, this topics is very important because it is asking for SQ types of question also, not only for MCQ, also asking for there. D. Ravertis in 1979 they gave the definition of the cell, and they told that generally the structural functional unit, normally what we learn actually, structural and functional unit of organism, of living organism, you can write structural and functional unit of the living organism if it is asking for. So D. Ravertis in 1979 they gave the definition, it is the structural and functional unit of the living organism. Who told this one? D. Ravertis. In which year? In 1979 they gave the definition, that is structural and functional unit of the organism. I hope so you get this better understanding of the specific points of different scientists. So today the last topics we will discuss, that is the cell theory. It is the short and important that one. Well, it is asking for 2 marks also. Cell theory. What is the cell theory and in which year it is incorporated, and who gave this one? R. Virtue. Okay, Ch-1. Who gave this one? You can write this one T, don't spelling mistake here, Schchwan. Swan, this is the Swan and Virtue. Swan and Virtue in which year? You can not actually mentioning, it is ongoing, the thinking about the 1938 to 39 they gave the cell theory, and the basic concept of the cell theory is actually it is they gave the total composition and of the cellular types and cellular functional unit, and that is first of all the structural, physiological and organizational unit. They told cell is the structural, physiological and organizational unit of organism. So cell is the structural, physiological and organizational unit of organism or living organism, you can write. This is the first concept, and then next one is the cell is the basic building unit of life. Cell is the basic building unit of life. Basic building unit of life. And number third is all cells develop from pre-existing cell. All cells develops from pre-existing cell. These are the cell theory. It is asking for 2 marks. My dear students, it is asking for 2 marks that explain the cell theory, or what do you understand by cell theory. You will write very first time Ch-1 and virtue in 1938 and 39. Cell, they gave the theory. Compilely, it is called the cell theory, and the cell theory concept are going on through. Cell is the structural, physiological and organizational unit of organism. Structural, function, physiological, we can know about that. Organizational, that means all the cellular organelles, because inside the cell there are lots of cellular organelles, and all the cellular organelles are organized properly, and they can totally cell can totally done this one very importantly. So a structural, physiological and organizational unit of the organism we can write. And cell is the basic building unit. Basic building unit means like that brick we can ensure if we think one after one, then make a building. Like that, all our body parts can having the cellular organization and just sequentially make a body parts. And so the basic building unit of the life, we can say about that, the organism, living organisms or life, we can say. All cells develop from pre-existing cell. I told you in the modern definition, there is all cell develop from the pre-existing cell. So this is the cell theory, and we know about that the Ch-1 and virtue in 1938 to 39, they gave this definition, this theory. So it is asking for 2 marks. So this is the today's session I conduct. I will go to the now college. So we will go through understanding about the today's topics, my dear students. Hope so you get enjoy the today's class. And who are missing there, you can join very first time after publishing this video on your group. After sometimes it will be published, and hope so it will be a better understand of today's session, just concept of the cell, cellular types, definition and other side of it. And hope so you will enjoy these topics today, and we will go through with a new topics, with a new era, with from the first paper, having the new note copy or CW copy for biology first paper. And I hope so you will be better understanding and cutting a good figure in the exam. That's all about today. Everyone, stay safe, stay sound, stay at home and connecting with the study. Allah Hafiz.